Good morning, Middle 3. Hello again. Now we are going to have the grammar part of our last unit, Save Our Planet, which talks about the modal verbs. Let us ask first, what is a modal verb? A modal verb is an auxiliary verb that expresses many things, like ability, possibility, obligation, suggestion, giving an advice, prediction, and so many other things. We are going to deal with them one by one. Let us start with can. Can expresses ability, but in the present tense. Could expresses the ability in the past tense. Now let's go to may and might. May and might, they express possibility both in the present and in the past. Let's go for the auxiliary, the modal verb must, which expresses obligation. Now we have shall, which expresses suggestion. As for the modal verb should and the modal verb ought to, they express giving an advice. As for the modal verb will, as we have taken in the first term, will expresses many things like quick decisions, promises, threats, future facts, or offers. As for the modal verb would, it expresses an offer or a request. As for have to, has to, or had to, these three express obligation, but in the present simple and in the past simple. Now we are going to do the rewrite of these modal verbs. You are going to have a model answer for them. Write with me. Now we have model answer for unit Save Our Planet. And this is grammar. First of all, the rewrite grammar. And as you all know, we must rewrite the following sentences using the words in brackets to give the same meaning. And I stress the fact of giving the same meaning in order to take the mark. Number 1, you have, will you help me with my homework? You can make it, can you help me with my homework? Now you have got the model answer of number 1 and it's the same meaning. Number 2, can I have a glass of water? You can make it, may I have a glass of water? Okay, and this gives the same meaning of the original sentence. Number 3, you aren't allowed to park here. So we say you mustn't. It means you are forbidden. You are not allowed to park. You mustn't park here. Pay attention, my dear students. We dropped to. We wrote you mustn't park. Why? Because modal verbs must be followed by infinitive without the preposition to. Number 4, do I do that or will you? Here we can say, shall I do that or will you? Do that or will you? Now you know perfectly well that the modal verb shall can only be used with the pronoun I or the pronoun we. Now we go to number 5, which is I can open the door for you. Now you can say I will open the door for you because it is an offer. The door for you. Now let's go to number 6, which is do you mind turning the light on? You can say would you mind turning the light on, and this gives the same meaning as you see. Now as for number 7, it is shall we write it down now? You can say could we write it down now? And you finish the sentence. Number 8, it is a possibility that they will move to Aswan next year. So we can say, we can drop, it is a possibility that. We can say they, and instead of will, we will say they might move to Aswan next year. Why did we drop it's a possibility that? Because they mean might. We cannot write both of them in the same sentence. So we say they might move to Aswan next year. As for number 9, it is necessary to be there on time. So you use any preposition, but if we find it like this, you can use you because it's talking to anybody. So you say, you must be there on time. As for number 9, you should study well. We can only change should into you ought to study well. Why did we use to? Because the modal verb ought must use to followed by infinitive. Let's go to number 11. Let's go to number 11 now. They are able to open the door. Pay attention, my dear students, that can replaces am, is, are able to. Am, is, are able to. And this doesn't include was or were. We only say am, is, are in the present case. So we say they can open the door. Now, as for number 12, I am not able to fix that. It is the same, but in the negative case. So instead of saying I can, we say I can't or cannot fix that or this. Number 13, can you lend me some money? Here we are going to use the word may. I am asking you to lend me some money. So in order to give the same meaning, you will have to say, may I borrow some money? Some money in order to give the same meaning. As for number 14, let's visit our aunt today. We say, let's, it's talking about we together. So we say, could we visit our aunt today? Or we can say, we could visit our aunt today. Both are correct. Okay, now let's go to number 15, which is, I promise to buy a new dress, to buy you a new dress. You are going to use the modal verb will. So we say, I will buy you a new dress. As for number 16, they are obliged to leave early. It means that it is necessary to leave early. In order to express obligation, we use the modal verb have to. So we say, they have to leave early. As for number 17, I am able to drive well. We said before that can replaces am, is, are able to. So we say, I can drive well. As for number 18, will you raise your voice, please? And you are going to use the modal verb could. So we say, could you raise your voice, please? As for number 19, it is possible we will phone her. So we are going to use may. Possible plus will equal may. So we are going to drop them and use the modal verb may. How? Follow me. We may phone her. We dropped it is possible plus will. Now, as for number 20, you are going to say you ought not to call your colleagues names. You are going to use shouldn't. Ought not to equal shouldn't. So you say you shouldn't call your colleagues names. I'll give you a chance, my dear students, to answer the rest of them, and we'll meet next time, inshallah, to finish the rest of the grammar rewrite. Goodbye.